coming up.
The biggest challenge is, first of all, you get disrespected by your own co-workers because they're like, this woman just can't come and take our job and she's doing it better than us. No Kenyan man or no Kenyan employer is going to pay you for 4 months for free.
This is Cocktail Chronicles.
Being a female in the male-dominated bartending world has not been an easy journey for Mixologist Queen Yvonne Wairimu. Despite the ups and downs, Yvonne, a mother of 3, has managed to not only win competitions and travel to various parts of the world, but also run her own business. She shares with us her 17-year journey and what has made her a trailblazer behind the bar.
Where I landed as a waitress, I was always at the bar, upper kwa corner, just admiring the drinks and everything. So my manager always used to complain about, if on your station customers are making noise, can you go and attend to your customers and leave the bar? And it went on for a while until my manager just snapped and he was like, get into the bar and let me never see you leave. And that was 17 years ago and I have never left the bar. Behind the counter is home for me.
Nevertheless, her family didn't take the news of her bartending career well. Being in the village, her mother went through the stigma of having a daughter who was working in the bar, something that strained her relationships.
My mom is a serious Kikuyu woman. And the first time when I told her I am working in a bar, she was not very impressed. But I thank God because she's a very open-minded woman. And she was like, if you know what you're doing, then we can deal with that. But she went under a lot of pressure from her friends and family for allowing her daughter to work in the industry. And for a long time, I was put in a box that as much as you tell us she's working in a bar, we know exactly what she's doing. But I thank God now that my mom steps on their toes and on their heads when she's busy telling them how her daughter is, how well she's doing in the industry. I have, thanks to this industry, I have gotten to go to places I never dreamt of, places that people still sit right now and wish they could go to those places. And it's all because I put my priorities right and I focused. And I respect this job so much because it pays my bills. Yeah, and it is all thanks to this industry. And it is because I had a very strong mom. From the word go, she was like, that's what you want to do. We need to have an open conversation. I need to let you know this is born to happen, this is born to happen, this is born to happen. So how you treat yourself and how much respect you give yourself is what other people will give back to you. So it's all upon you to decide what you want to do with your life. And I'm very glad that I got to listen to her.
Yvonne's first years in the industry were her learning years. As she recalls, one of her greatest mistakes was assuming that her role was giving her clients excess alcohol and no extra something that was a grave mistake.
A customer could come and order for something and I would overfeed them with whatever they ordered. Like if they order for a double, I give them 2 doubles, you know, because at the back of my mind, I thought that's what working is all about, yeah? When the customer gets drunk, then I have done my job. But slowly but surely, thanks to a lot of people who have mentored me, I came to understand as much as it's all about making the customer happy, it is a business for the person that has employed you or for the person that you're working. So anytime you give out alcohol for free, then it is at somebody else's expense. Also, when I was younger, I did not have the discipline that I have right now. That I used to drink a lot when I was working, and I lost a lot of jobs and I messed up. But with time, I have come to have that discipline and to understand that the bar is my office. Just like people don't drink in their other offices, official offices, I also don't drink at all when I'm working until I change into my home clothes, and then I can have a drink.
Yvonne is not shy to share with us some of her embarrassing moments while on duty.
There's a shooter called a and some guy just came to the bar and he's like, yo, what's up, Yvonne? I'd love a and I snapped. I'm like, what the what do you mean? I'm sorry, but I'm not that kind of a girl, especially considering where I was working at that particular time. I used to work at F2, Florida 2000, and it was crazy for somebody to just come to the bar at Florida 2000 and ask you for a It was crazy, but it motivated me to want to know more about my drinks and what they are called and why such crazy names, or just to cool down just a bit, because I was a bit younger and I felt a bit disrespected. It motivates me more to want to teach the younger upcoming bartenders, you really need to know your drinks, you really need to save yourself from these embarrassing moments.
This gave her the motivation to learn more about the drinks and understand why drinks, and especially shooters, are given thought-provoking names.
I came to understand this because shooters, people are encouraged to drink shooters later on at around 1, 2, 3 when they've had one too many. And we all know when we are drunk, we tend to become a bit naughty. So most shooters have really, really naughty names. So the whole idea was to encourage the customer to want to say that naughty name loudly without any consequences, because not every other day somebody will just come and drop a name at you and you'll be like, excuse me. But when they are drinking and it's fun, it makes it much more better. That's why you find when people are sober or for their first drinks, they don't order for shooters, because they're still gathering the courage and the energy to physically pronounce the names loudly. A shooter is when you have a shot directly from the bottle to a shot glass and you drink like a shot of tequila, a shot of Jameson, a shot of vodka. But a shooter is like a small cocktail. It has more than one spirit or other ingredients in it. You can put like cream, you can put like soda, you can put like juice, and you can make it all in that small 30 ml or 60 ml or 50 ml shot glass.
Well, as a seasoned bartender, Yvonne understands that a good cocktail consists of well-balanced ingredients, and she acknowledges that most cocktail bars in Kenya lack the constituency in making cocktails, which pushes away the customers.
All your ingredients have to marry together to make like one flat rate. You get like everything has to be on a straight line, but when you drink the drink, you can be able to taste every single ingredient in that drink. So every time you make a cocktail and one ingredient overwhelms the rest, then it becomes an issue, because it's like your cocktail is made of one ingredient. So the tricky part, and you find even in most cocktail bars, issue is consistency. You can go and your first drink is awesome, over the moon, great, but the next drink, probably made by the same guy or a different guy, it tastes completely different. So that's why you find most people want to stay away from drinking cocktails, because bartenders are not able to maintain that consistency. And balance is not the only thing, but from where I'm seated, I believe it's a very big thing.
Yvonne managed to beat the odds in the industry, and in the year 2012, she won the Absolute Mixology competition. This win was life-changing as it opened doors for her to work with Pernod Ricard Kenya, a French company known for its distilled beverages, which is dedicated in elevating the standards of bartenders in the country.
I was the Absolute Mixologist for 2012. It was a competition that was sponsored by Absolute Vodka. After I won the challenge, I was able to go to Sweden. Sweden is the home of Absolute Vodka. I was able to interact with bartenders from all over the world. I got a chance to learn how Absolute Vodka is made. It was a very nice and pleasant experience for me, and it was my first time to travel outside Kenya. Like, ever. So it was cool. And then recently we also had a chance to travel to Ireland, and that was courtesy of Jameson. It was also another mind-blowing experience. We were able to mingle with about 180 mixologists from all over the world, and we were able to learn so much. And once again, we know a lot about Jameson. As guys being Africans, women, we have been sidelined a lot. We have been brought up to believe that some things are not just for us, but I can challenge women. What a man can do, a woman can always do it better. So never be afraid to take a challenge. Never be afraid. You never know where you could go, where you could be. And from these competitions, we have literally seen, we have women who are doing really good and giving men a run for their money. So it shouldn't be an excuse because you're a woman, or you should not be sidelined because you're a woman. Yeah, I believe we have been doing it better than the men have. And sorry to say, but I'm a living example. Today we're going to make a mocktail called a love tonic, inspired by a lady who just came. She was having a rough day. Life was giving her a kick in the behind, and she needed just some love, but she doesn't drink alcohol. So we decided to make for her a drink that has grapes, strawberries, just to make her feel better, a bit of orange juice, and we topped it up with ginger beer. Our next cocktail is called the Remix Wonder. It's one of our major signature cocktails here at Remix. The reason we call it a Remix Wonder because it literally gives people the essence of what Remix is, and people are left wondering what is it about Remix and them being masters in this cocktail industry. So it has absolute mango 45 ml, peach schnapps 15 ml, rosemary, a bit of sour mix, which is sugar syrup, and a bit of lemon juice, and we're going to top it up with ginger beer.
The thing about Yvonne is that Yvonne is out of this world. Yvonne is special. The thing about Yvonne is that Yvonne, when I joined Pernod Ricard and started working with Jameson, Yvonne made me one cocktail. And the cocktail wasn't made of Jameson. And I was like, oh my freaking word, my head was all over the place. So it was amazing. That's the thing about Yvonne. She can blow your mind and make you think that you're having soda, and at the same time you think like you're having alcohol. You know, Yvonne can give you alcohol, you think you're having juice. You get me? So at the end of the day, you end up getting high of something you think you're not going to get high of. And that's the thing about being a bartender. I think you need to be a perfect mixologist. And I think Yvonne has mastered that whole craft, and she's amazing.
Actually, from the 1900s to the 1960s, it wasn't common for ladies to be in bars. Do you know that? Only men were in bars. That century, you get this thing called the ladies' bar. You know, there was actually a hotel bar. There'd be the men's section and the ladies' section. Those guys were clever in those days, damn. You know, and then only later on in the 80s did the actual craze of people socializing male and female really kick off.
Coming up.
Been in the business and you know more, and maybe you're sitting with fellow bar owners who are male and you're trying to pass a point across, they'll just sideline you. Huyu ni mwanamke anajua nini?
This is Cocktail Chronicles. This is Cocktail Chronicles.
Being a female bartender is a tough job, and Yvonne has witnessed most female bartenders go through a lot of bitter experiences to secure a job.
The biggest challenge is, first of all, you get disrespected by your own co-workers because they're like, this woman just can't come and take our job and she's doing it better than us. It becomes very controversial, even trying to prove yourself to your employers and your workmates. Secondly, you find like, if I am equally as equipped and as knowledgeable as a male bartender, at the end of the day, in the Kenyan community, a male bartender is getting paid better than a female bartender. I don't know it's because of our gender or why, but they always have their advantage. Another thing you find, like, we are women, it gets to a time that we feel we need to settle down, have families. It becomes very, very tricky. Most employers do not want to give you maternity leave and pay you for that, despite the fact that the government has allowed for that. When you get pregnant or you go for your maternity leave, most outlets will let you go because no Kenyan man or no Kenyan employer is going to pay you for 4 months for free. So they'll let you go, and probably they will replace you because they need for their businesses to go on. Sometimes some customers are too touchy, they are too... And if you don't have your priorities right, I've seen a lot of ladies mess up their lives because they don't know exactly what they want in this industry. It is a fast and furious life, and you need to be grounded. You need to know what you want in life. You need to respect yourself a lot, and you need to just have your priorities right. Just know I'm here to work and prove to people that is exactly what you're there to do, because if you don't do that, there are people I meet up to date and tell me, Yvonne, I wish I was like you. Because like we met like 10 years ago, right now, where they are is not where they aspired to be those many years ago. Why? Because they got enticed by the fast life, the fast money, the sugar daddies, and the list is endless.
With the support of Panad Ricard, Yvonne initiated the Smooth Bartenders Club, an event that seeks to not only appreciate the bartenders, but also perfect craft of cocktail making. The best cocktails are later on put on a draw in the Jameson competition.
It's just a space for bartenders to just be themselves. Bartenders can enjoy a conversation. We can like ask what are tequilas, and everybody will argue out what they know, and then at the end of the day we will all agree to disagree, and it becomes a learning platform for everyone. So we have a lot of new and up and coming bartenders, and we have a lot of veteran bartenders. We are going to keep loving and appreciating bartenders till everybody else does.
In this year's event, Winston Ouma from Galileo Lounge was the influence bartender of the day as he displayed his skills by making a Jamie Ginger cocktail with a twist.
So basically with Galileo Lounge, we're having our quarterly Smooth Bartenders Club, where we basically host like 20 to 30 bartenders, influential bartenders in the market. So we basically have fun with them, interact with them, get to tell them more about the brand. And at the end of the day, the influencer bartender, like in this case, the guy from Galileo, he makes his signature cocktail made out of triple distilled whiskey, which is Jameson. And then he gets to incorporate other things, and then we get to critique or praise his cocktail. So at the end of it, we just come up with a winning cocktail. Like today we had an amazing cocktail. Everyone was like thumbs up. It was amazing.
Irish Paradise has a combination of Jameson, cinnamon, apple sour, concentrated apple juice, and apple juice itself. But the way we made it, guys preferred, instead of using the packaged apple juice, we should use the original fresh apple juice, the apple fruit itself. So by getting the apple fruit itself, it's more sweeter and convincing rather than using the packet one. I promise, and that's something that we've really worked on. Whoever comes to Galileo henceforth from now will definitely find the Irish Paradise in our menu. It's something unique, especially for the ladies. It's a drink for the night. If you want, maybe if you have a party and you don't want to imbibe a lot of alcohol, that's the best cocktail I prefer for you to go to.
Bigger, better. That is Galileo. It's the ultimate nightclub experience in Nairobi. We have the space, we have the ultimate extreme lighting, extreme entertainment. You can't go wrong with us.
The thing is, everybody wants to have a good time, everybody wants to have a drink, everybody wants to party, but nobody appreciates that good, who made that good cocktail. Everybody is out there busy saying how cool the drink was, how pretty it looked, how amazing it was, but nobody cares who made that drink. So heads up to Pernod Ricard, because they were the first people to come in and appreciate and say, we need to pay attention to these people who are making these very cool drinks. And through Smooth Bartenders, they are able to extend the love they have extended to me, they are able to extend to the rest of the bartenders in Nairobi. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's grateful for that. The bartending community in Nairobi and in Kenya as a whole, they are appreciating it big time.
Of a successful competitive career, Yvonne decided to venture into entrepreneurship by opening her own bar with mixed cocktails and shisha lounge in the industrious Thika town.
It was a big dream of mine for a very long time to want to own, even if it's just a small space, a small cocktail bar where I can dictate and decide this is what I want to do and this is how I want it done and this is how we are going to do, and nobody will question me about that. And it has been great since. We just wanted to bring cocktails to people in the hood at an affordable price. So here at Remix you can find cocktails that are as cheap as 100, and our most expensive cocktail is 400. We've done a lot, and slowly but surely people out there are coming to recognize that we are the go-to mobile bar company in Kenya.
This new business venture has brought its own share of challenges. First is that bartenders are apparently termed as thieves, something that Yvonne refutes.
The notion out there is that bartenders are thieves, but from experience what I can say is not every bartender is honest, and also not every bar owner is honest. Sometimes you will find people who are just honest, but because it has been instilled in the customer that bartenders are thieves, sometimes the customer is the guy that is on the wrong. But because the bar owner knows, bartenders ni wezi, when there is a case, the bar owner will always side with the customer over the employee, which is a really bad thing. And every time when I do trainings and I talk to bartenders, I tell them it's high time that you start being trustworthy, you start being honest, give your employer a chance to side with you for once. In case there is a tug of war between the bartender and the customer, let your employer for once say, I swear by the living God, this guy cannot do that. So I think there needs to be an improvement on both sides. The bartenders need to really be trustworthy, and the bar owners really need to give bartenders an opportunity for them to be trustworthy. And customers also need to know bartenders are human, and don't just look at a bartender and think that they are thieves. As in, there is always a longer story before them just being a thief. Not just being an owner, being even a mixologist. I think us guys have to work 10 times as hard as our male counterpart in everything, because already you're coming in as somebody who has been sidelined. So you trying to prove yourself that I am this person and I can do A, B, C, D, F, G, H. You have to work so hard to get even one male person to listen to you. So I think that is the biggest thing that is out there, getting somebody to just listen to what you have to say, and for you now to get the opportunity to tell them that, imagine I can do A, B, C, D. That is my biggest challenge. And the fact that you've been in the business and you know more, and maybe you're sitting with fellow bar owners who are male, and you're trying to pass a point across, they'll just sideline you. Huyu ni mwanamke anajua nini? Let's continue with the conversation. So I think it's very difficult being a woman in Africa.
In addition, Yvonne claims that most bar owners have not yet understood the various levels of bartenders, which consequently creates a lot of conflicts between them.
People believe a bartender is a bartender, but from where I'm seated, I would want to challenge that and let people know. Even you can come behind the bar and be a bartender. You know that, yeah? You can come and he asks for a beer, you can serve it. I ask for a double Jameson, you can serve it. She asks for a water, you can serve it. So we call such bartenders dispense bartenders, because all you're doing is dispensing what is behind the bar. And that is like the entry level of now being a bartender. After that, then we have people we call cocktail bartenders. Those are people who have mastered recipes and can be able to replicate them over and over and over again. We have lots of those in Kenya now. And then after that, then we have people we call mixologists. So mixologists are people who can do all this, plus they can be able to invent cocktails. They can be able to bring flavors together. They can talk to you, understand you, and recommend a drink that will suit you. You've met Kat, Kat is like now a proper mixologist. So I want to be him when I grow up. Oh, and one last more, we have flair bartenders, yeah? Flair bartenders are the guys that will entertain you behind the bar. They will throw bottles, they will do things. We are still very young in Kenya when it comes to that, but outside there, it's a big thing and people get paid a lot of money for it. So even employers, you find an employer wants a good bartender or a good mixologist, but wants to pay them as a dispense bartender, which really doesn't make sense. And you find most of them, they really don't even know. They're like, bartender ni bartender too. You know, that's what they say. But employers want to pay you the salary of a dispense bartender, but they want you to give them the service of a mixologist. That's where now the discrepancies come in.
Yvonne also believes that attending cocktail trainings and workshops has really helped her master her skill and set her apart from other bartenders, as she advises other bartenders to follow suit.
One thing I keep telling everybody I meet is never stop learning. Never get into a comfort zone where you think or you believe that you know everything. The moment you get to that point, that is the beginning of your downfall. So even up and coming bartenders, veteran bartenders, people who have been there for so long, I always tell them new things come up every other day. Just be on toes. Be on toes. Keep learning, and most importantly, share what you know.
As a single mother to 3 boys, Yvonne still considers it a challenge to balance work and her family life, something that she confesses is still work in progress.
It's so crazy because like my kids, they are used to mommy's never there. So even when I'm in the house, they'll be like, hi mom, and it slips their mind that I'm around. They continue doing what they are doing, but I'm thankful. I pray that as they grow older, they can get to understand. But the thing is, all I tell women in this industry, spend as much time with your family as possible when you have that time. Make it worthwhile.
And to all bartenders,
this is my call to bartenders out there. Let us take our profession seriously so that other people can be able to take us seriously. And the moment we are able to do that, then everybody will start seeing us as, we'll start seeing bartending and mixology as a profession and not just as a random thing, because people just think that akupata job anafanya bartending akishikilia apate kitu ingine. So nobody literally takes us seriously, but if you check out the trends abroad, people literally pay a lot of money to go to colleges and to mixology schools, and once they perfect their art, they get paid a lot of money just to be bartenders. So that is my vision for bartending in Kenya and for bartenders, for all of us to take this industry seriously and to give people a chance to take us seriously.
This is Cocktail Chronicles.